Hey guys, I thought I'd show you my 3 motor upgrades I will be doing to a lot of my mowers, because I have a racing mower, an off-road mower, and then a future mud mower. And alright, so this here is a 10 horsepower Yanmar diesel. I am not quite for sure if it's a clone or a Yanmar. It's the colors of a regular Yanmar, but it doesn't have the Yanmar sticker that normally go here, so I'm thinking that it has to be a clone, but it doesn't really matter. It runs great. It came off an Aurora Silent Night generator that ran great. It had some issues. The wiring was a little messed up, so I took it off of it. You know, I picked it up for $100, so I was like, deal. You know, I'm building a mower out of this. But in order to make it work on a mower, I do a couple things. You know, I have my average gas pedal that I use on almost all my mowers. So I'm not going to use a bicycle keel for this one. That'll be a surprise for you guys to find out. But what I had to do was, there's this little catch that sits on this motor, so that like when the generator's running, you know, you don't have your generator continuously playing with the throttle. There is no governor really on a diesel. What it does is it has this little slide that's inside this fuel pump here, and it controls how much fuel goes into the motor, and that controls your engine speeds. But it has this little lock right here, and then this little lock right there for full throttle, which is 3600 RPM, somewhere around there. And it would have to hit 35 before this generator would actually start pumping some voltage out. So this is the guts of the generator, the rest of it, and the housing and everything else is outside. But yeah, I thought I'd show you that. I like this model because it has like this little cold air intake thing, which I thought would be great for a snorkel for the diesel build. For deep mud. One problem is it is a tapered shaft, so I'm going to have to buy, they actually sell adapter kits now. They didn't before, but they do now, to make this a standard 1-inch shaft. So I was going to buy that adapter kit, put it on, and then I can put my standard, you know, 6-inch pulley or whatever I decided to do for the pulley swap. But I won't put that on there. And then beside it, I have a Honda CX500 4-cylinder. I believe it's a 71, I'm not quite for sure. It's got 4 separate carburetors for, you know, 4 banks. And it's got a 5-speed transmission. It has kickstart option, electric start, which, you know, I'm going to use that. And then it's got 2 separate sets of points in here for, you know, 2 banks. I'm not for sure how that works. I think it's the outer 2 and then the inner 2, but it could be all of them. I don't know. It also has a separate oil filter, oil cooler thing. It sits out on the front of the motor. It's kind of nice because then it'll get, you know, cooling. And then beside that, I have a 14.5 horse OHV motor, which will be replacing the motor that's on my off-road Murray, because in the last couple of videos you guys may have seen how it's smoking. Which is understandable because I've had this motor for a long time on this mower, and I've ran it really hard, ungoverned. I've driven this mower, you know, 10 miles at a time sometimes. I mean, I've really put the mileage on this mower. So, yeah, I think it's time for a motor swap. This motor has really good compression. It feels great anyway. I haven't done a true compression test, but it does run. It runs decent. Doesn't run the best, but it runs decent. But I think most that can be, it has a junk carburetor on it. I think it's a Nicky. It's not even a Walbro. I only deal with Walbros because they're reliable. So yeah, I thought I'd show you that. I will show you the racing mower. Right here is the Racing Craftsman. It did have a 6-speed transaxle on the back of it with a slap shifter setup, which was awesome. It worked great. But it literally toasted the belts. I went through I think I went through 2 or 3 belts on this thing. It was just crazy. I couldn't stand it. It has a Craftsman 17 on it, which I will take off and put on another build. So it's going to get 1-inch axle on the back, probably maybe even a 4-wheeler axle, because I have one of those laying around here. But my brakes are going to be here. These are all the exhaust pipes that go with the motor. So I will make up a custom exhaust, maybe even have stacks or something that look pretty cool. This is the rest of the housing of the generator. It's a very enclosed generator. I was amazed I mean, it's a really nice setup, but it was, like I said, the wiring was a mess, so I had to tear it apart. This is the base of it. Them tiny little skateboard wheels, man, they hold a lot of weight. Over here is the original 6-speed transmission to the Craftsman, which I had fully swapped. I flipped this transmission upside down, and I ran into a lot more issues than I thought, because I've seen several people do it with no problems, but I found out that the seals were actually bad in the transmission. And beside it is the Sears, which will be getting the diesel treatment. It has a, I don't know, I think it's a Tecumseh, but it could be a Kohler, I'm not for sure. 8 horsepower on it, which it will be getting the Yanmar on it. So I don't know how much trimming I might have to do to the frame. I hope I don't have to do much, because I love this tractor the way it sits. I had to put aluminum slots on the back because that's all I had laying around. But I will be getting regular mud tires for it, my regular steel rims. So yeah, it should be a pretty cool build. And I thought I might as well introduce you guys to the wheelie horse. I picked this mower up the same time I got the diesel, because the guy was like, I'm ready to take it to the scrapyard. If you want it, you can have it. It didn't have a motor, didn't have any wheels. It was flipped upside down, so I took it. I put some, these are actually the original tires to my Murray. They fit right on here. They got like a bolt style that holds it on with a washer. And then the back ones are what I had actually gotten for the Sears, but then I ended up just putting them on here so I get it going. They work great. The reason why I call it the wheelie horse is because it did hella wheelies. Because it has a 3-speed high and low transmission. And then I put a 4.5-inch pulley up here, which just really grabbed. This is a Predator 301. A lot of these mowers you'll see people put 420s on. I have a 420, but I'm saving that for another build. So yeah. And here's the black Murray beside it, and here's a junk mower. Go back into the warm shed. And I had one YouTuber comment that said that I need to do some donuts with the Murray. I am sorry, I forgot all about telling you guys about this, but the video, like, my phone ran out of space and it deleted the part with the donuts. I didn't notice it until I went over and checked it after that one YouTuber left that comment. So I will be sure, maybe even later today, just to make up for that, I will show this mower doing Hello Donuts, because it does great. But I am going to warn you, it smokes a lot when it does donuts. But I will definitely get that video in. So yeah, and then I will show you guys this mower in action with the mud tires. It does great. But I will have to get the mower set up for that. I am going to have to get this transaxle is locked. I did this just for the donuts. I ended up putting the other tires on it, and I actually am tearing up my front tires really bad with the locker. So, I mean, if you guys are doing a lot of street riding, do not lock your rear end. Or if you do, there is a solution to that. You can just pop the key out of your wheel, and it will turn. But it's really hard on your one axle, whatever axle you still have connected. So I would not recommend doing it if you're doing a lot of street riding. If you're doing all mud, you have a gigantic yard, 2 or 3 acres, lock it up, you'll be good. You'll just tear up some grass. And it's fun. I mean, I have fun once I get to my trails and stuff. But I had to get it there, and I had to do a lot of street driving to get to the really good mud trails. So, yeah, I do have that transmission out of the Craftsman, so I might end up putting that transmission in here and rebuilding it and then putting it in, and then it'll be unlocked, and I'll keep this transact off to the side, and I can always pop it in when I want to. So, yeah, that's always an option. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will definitely be doing some videos on the Sears, and maybe I'll even do a motor swap video on the Murray, and maybe I'll do a couple clips and pictures of the Racing Craftsman build. So yeah, let me know what you guys want to see done first. I'm definitely going to do the diesel first, but let me know if you want me to do a motor swap on the Murray or the motorcycle engine build first, because I definitely would like to know which one to do first. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like my channel.